Hello everybody. Everybody hates red tape, but there has to be some regulations in order to keep things straight. If you think about it, the federal government spent about $160 billion in areas related to higher education in terms of student aid, grants for the National Science Foundation, National Institute of Health, and the like. So there has to be some regulations. Yet, sometimes we see these regulations are too many and too complicated that distract institutions of higher education from doing their job, which is basically educating students. So in 2013, a bipartisan group of US senators established a task force that generated a report called Recalibrating Regulations of Colleges and Universities, and that report has just been released. Among the conclusions of that report are that, quote, many rules are unnecessarily voluminous and too often ambiguous, and that the cost of compliance has become unreasonable, quote unquote. Another recommendation on conclusion, quote, many regulations are unrelated to education, student safety, or stewardship of federal funds, and others can be a barrier to college access and innovation in education. In fact, institutional education had to go through 175,000 pages of the Code of Federal Regulations just to comply with that. Stanford University, just to give you an example, they spent $29 million in compliance, which is about 7.5% of all the money they collect from tuition from the students. And sometimes we have seen, according to that report, that some of the regulations have taken even 17 years to be enacted. And if we add that to that, the regulations created by state governments for state institutions, things become even more complicated. And sometimes, let's face it, we in our institution of education establish some regulation on ourselves that makes things even more complicated. Therefore, I think that we need to be more sensible, take into consideration the recommendations of this report, and making sure that we don't give accountability a bad name. Thanks for watching the Romero Report, and please remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know what you think about what the issue of regulation has to do with higher education in these days. And next week, we'll be commenting on the Briar College closure and how that reflects on leadership in higher education. So stay tuned.